Good morning. I haven't made a video like this in a while. This is I guess a channel update or something like that. I found my video camera. This is an old JVC, oh, whatever this is, Everio or something like that, but it has a forward-facing microphone. And so back years ago, I would spend a lot of time sitting on my front porch and talking or whatever, and um, I really don't do that much of that anymore. But most of the time, I just do short videos or like, hey, this is cool, this is what I'm doing. And I think that's kind of where this channel has went. Um, I've kind of I realize that probably the channel will never get big, but I kind of think that there's sometimes when little things that most people don't even think about, like the last I did a video on that welder over there where I was tapping the holes for the new bolts and everything, and it a lot of people don't know how to do that kind of stuff or don't understand why the taps keep breaking because nobody showed them. And like, I'm not a great welder, but I could tell you how to weld just because I have welded in the past. Um, I'm a pretty good blacksmith. I'm a good electrician. I'm a good carpenter, that kind of stuff. And so the things that I know, I try and share the little small nuggets of information, the little refined, tiny little short excerpts of the quick and easy way to do stuff the right way, you know. Um, Same goes with other things, gunpowder or firewood or anything like that. And I find it's the stuff that I'm showing on the YouTube channel is stuff that I would show my boys, and I'd say, this is how you do this, and I'll walk them through the steps on how to do things. And I was thinking the other day that um, they're all they're getting older. My oldest uh, is he's not too far from being grown, and my next one down's also not too far from being grown. So, probably the next 10 or 15 years, uh, I'll be out of the child care business. Eventually, all my kids will be grown, and I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do with myself. But I was thinking the other day, I was driving up the road, and I was thinking that there are several things that I need to show them before they get out. I have all boys, and there are a lot of things that they need to know, even if they never become a welder or never become an equipment operator or never become a carpenter or an electrician or a blacksmith. A man should know how to at least observe someone who's working for him, and or a woman, it doesn't matter, but you should be able to observe a person that's contracted for you, like a carpenter or a sheetrock guy or painter or something, and go, that's not the proper way to do that, and because you have experience with that. And so with this channel, that's the direction that I'm going with it. Sort of instructional, day-to-day stuff. This channel's been there a while. I've done other things, but I've let it lapse. I've come back. You know, I realize it's, like I said, it's never going to be giant, but I enjoy showing information, little things that I don't see anywhere, and I enjoy watching that stuff on YouTube. I get on YouTube at the end of the day when I'm done building for the day. I come home, I do whatever I've got enough daylight to do, whether it's working on this old truck here, on the bed, or the welder or the tractors. Last night I came home, I had a few hours, well, I had an hour, and I was working on my PTO shaft for my Kubota tractor because I want to it's getting to be spring. Things are starting to leaf out and bloom, and I want to be able to run my Yanmar tiller that I put all those tines on, which if you go back you can see a video of me putting tines on the Yanmar tiller. And but the PTO shaft that I had for it, that came with it, it came from kind of a lot of things, and the shaft itself, they were using a shear pin for it, and I want to switch over to using, I believe that Kubota has a built-in slip clutch in the transmission. That's what I read in the manual on one of these, and I think. But I have an additional slip clutch, one of those big disc types that has the springs and all the bolts around it, and I want to be able to use that on the tiller and the bush hog so that I can protect the tractor, because the tractor already has the splined shaft is slightly bent on the back of the PTO on the back of the tractor. So I want to, in any case, I got sidetracked there. I was working on that yesterday afternoon, and so after that I went and I sat down and I started watching YouTube videos. And I don't really like scrolling reels. They suck your time, and they unless you've got the feed right, unless the algorithm has figured you out and is feeding you cool stuff, which right now it's feeding me welding, and I'm okay with that. I'll watch somebody lay a bead or discuss proper welding technique or discuss equipment. I can sit there and drink coffee and eat a little wheat thins. I eat those wheat thins crackers, and I'll sit there, and that's relaxing to me. I'll sit there and watch an instructional video any day. I used to sit. We've never really had a lot of cable or satellite TV, but when I'd be at somebody else's house or a vacation house or hotel or something, and there'd be cable, I'd watch how it's made all the time. That kind of stuff interests me. I am interested in archaeology and history and mechanical things. I have a couple different mechanical engineers handbooks and different books on carpentry and welding, and I have Audell's books on everything in my library, and basically anything that has to do with learning something. And so that's kind of where I want to go with this. So what I do when I get done physically working in the world, and I come back and I sit down at my house to take a breather, is I'll spend an hour, half an hour, how much time I get, and I'll watch people making things or people working on things. And kind of, that's where I'm going to kind of go with this. There's some stuff I'm going to do. I've got to repair the backhoe. The old backhoe, I repaired it 6 or 7 years ago. I welded a crack that was in the boom arm, and I welded a crack that was in the hanger assembly on it. And so I'm going to probably do a video on doing that after I get done with this. This is welded down. The back hinge pin is welded down. I had a chain hoist in this tree, these two trees up here. You can't see it, but I had hooked to this bracket up here, and I pivoted it back up to about a 45-degree angle. It does pivot properly, and it tracks right. It comes back down right, and that's what I want. I'm probably going to weld two guides, a guide on each side of the frame, so that what I'll do is I'll flare the guides so when they go up, the frame and the frame on the bed are the same width. But what I'll do is I'll flare them out at the top, so when the bed comes down, it'll kind of guide it into the center. So if you're off at an angle slightly, it'll sort of center it. But in any case, I want to put a set of guides, probably some 1/2-inch spring steel or something that'll catch this this bed as it comes down. I'd like to have a way to latch it down so that it can be just a flat bed, and I don't have to worry about it, like if the truck rolls or something, I don't have to worry about it flopping out. So I might do that. But right now I'm on the hunt for a 1 3/4 bar, 48 inches long, because I got to have one more pivot for the hydraulic system. And I was at the scrapyard yesterday. I called the steel store in Chattanooga, and they had, I want to say, hot rolled was $67 for 1 3/4, 48 inches. Cold rolled was $70-something for 48 inches. So I thought I'll stop at the scrapyard and see if they've got something. And I found an axle, and I didn't have a tape measure on me, and so it looked kind of right. It's about that big around. I thought maybe it's either 1 3/4 or 2 inch. And when I got to the job, I measured it, and it was a 2-inch bar. So I really don't think it's what I need. Although it would be great because it's a half shaft from an axle, like a floating axle on the back of a 18-wheeler, and it's good thick steel, and those axle shafts are tougher steel than what I would get at the steel store, I'm sure. But in any case, many things to go. I'm kind of trying to keep with the short, do-it-yourself, informational, homestead, eclectic, whatever you want to call it, stuff for the year, and I'll try and do some longer format videos to go with the shorts. I just don't get any hits on them hardly. If you're watching this video, like it and subscribe to it, and it'll help my long format videos, because this one's right at 10 minutes. I'm not going to really edit it, I don't think. I think I'll just, shut it down, maybe render it and upload it. But if I was getting more hits on the long videos, I would probably do more long videos. But it seems like people are in that mindset of the internet has gotten to that point where it's everything's short format. People don't have the attention span for long format stuff. So, but in any case, that axle shaft that I got in my other truck, if it won't fit this, I told my boys, I said, this will make great axes, because it's 2-inch bar, and I can cut them in 4-inch lengths, and I can get probably 20 axes out of that one bar, like full size 3-pound axes. I'll cut a 3-pound section, and I'll make 3-pound, felling axes. And it takes a day to make an axe head. It's at least by hand. I don't have a power hammer, and man, I'll do a video on that if I do make one. But in any case, there's the channel update. That's where we're going. The direction is going to keep trending the way it is, and unless something drastic changes. I will answer questions if somebody has a question. I am a Christian. I'm an American. If you have questions, I'm honest with you. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'll give you my honest opinion. So if you have a question, feel free to ask it in the comments. I may make a video, I may just comment and reply to your question. But in any case, liking and subscribing will help me with my long format videos. And watching the video all the way to the end, it really helps it. Y'all have a good day. Have a good week. This is Tuesday, March something. I don't know. Anyway, I'll catch y'all later.